Gemma
Oh,
Pagliei,
gosh.
and I am a comprehensively certified Pilates teacher and also member of the Yoga Alliance. The program I'm going to do for you today, I'm going to teach you stretches that you can do at your desk from my De-Stress at Your Desk video series. So after the program, or during the program, we're passing along around a clipboard where you can sign up for my email list. I'm hoping starting next week or the week after, I have a series of 7 video clips. I'm going to send out 1 week for free, and that will be a video of me teaching some of the stretches I'm going to teach you today. And if I run out of time and don't get to them all, you'll at least have them all, and you'll be able to watch them over and over. They're also available on my website. So I'm teaching stretches you can do at your desk. Why am I doing that? Well, because our bodies have ranges of motion. Our torsos, our limbs, they can bend forward, they can bend backward, side to side, they can rotate. Our limbs stretch and move in various ranges of motion, and our legs. So if we don't use these ranges of motion, we're going to lose them. And unfortunately, the biggest culprit of that is sitting all day, particularly sitting at a desk. Where you're sitting, you're looking at a computer, posture begins to slump, crane towards the computer screen. So I'm going to teach you some things you can do to take periodic breaks during the day to combat that, counteract that, we'll say. So I'm going to be throwing a lot of material at you today because I want to give you as much of a range of movements that you can choose from as possible. Obviously, you're not going to be able to do everything at your desk, so you may, I would say if you could take a break every half hour, that may be pushing it. Also, your boss is watching, so maybe every hour, and perform some of them, or you may be able to go through a number very quickly. I also would have gone through them a little more quickly. I'm going to ask you when you actually are working with them at your desk to hold them for longer, but I'm going to be trying to push you to get through the material. Okay, so, and also one other thing, a lot of these stretches are designed with office chairs in mind because most desk chairs have arms on them. So I'll show you how you can do with arms and without arms, because today we're doing them without arms. All right, so the first series we're going to do are seated leg stretches. Now, if you can, I'm going to ask everyone to move back away from the tables, and we can move the tables out of the way. If anybody wants to come up along the side, they can do that. The first stretch is the seated hamstring stretch. The hamstrings are the muscles that run down the backs of your legs. So push your chair as far back as you can, give yourself as much room as possible. You're going to sit with your knees and your feet hip width apart. Hip width would be your second toe, or like the middle of your shoe, in line with the center of your hip crease. Your hip crease would be from the inner edge of the hip to the outer edge of the hip, so like right there in the middle if you were actually standing. A lot of people think hip width is where the outer edge of their hip is, and that's not correct. Most of our hip bones and pelvises are actually more narrow. So you're going to sit with your knees and feet about hip width apart. We're going to stretch our right leg forward, and you're going to flex your ankle so your toes are coming towards your nose. Yeah, we can do this. Yeah. I'm hoping that at their offices, most people have a little more room than this. We're a little cramped. Okay, so your right leg extends forward. I almost wish I could be sitting on top of this table. Okay, your hands are just going to overlap on top of your left thigh. You're going to sit on the front edge of your chair. Your leg is down on the ground. So you're sitting right on top of the edge of your chair. Yeah, as far forward as you can, right on the tip. And then extend your right leg out. Your heel is on the ground. Good, and your foot is flexed toes towards your nose. Your hands are going to just overlap on top of your left thigh. Lift your abdomen, stretch up out of the waist. Try to keep this length of the spine as you begin to hinge forward, bracing your arms on your legs. You may come as far forward as you can. And you're going to be pulling yourself away from your desk when you're doing this. And if you wish, you can let your head go down. You should feel a stretch in the back of the right leg. So we're going to hold that, and then we're going to come up, and we're going to switch sides. Now, I always recommend, again, because you're at work and your boss is watching, I mean, normally if you are stretching at home, I recommend holding a stretch for up to 3 minutes, even up to 5 minutes. But in the office, you can't do that. So for a quickie, hold it for 15 to 30 seconds, maybe a minute if you can. As much time as you can get away with. Okay, so again, try and push your chair back. And another tip I often give, especially for these stretches, if your desk chair has wheels on it, turn the chair so that the back of the chair is against the desk. That way will prevent the chair from rolling. So you're actually facing, out the back of your cubicle. Okay, so now feet again are hip width apart. Extend your left leg out on the floor. Your heel is on the ground. Flex your toes towards your nose. You should feel a stretch in the back of the calf there. Hands overlap on top of the right thigh. Lift the abdominals, stretch up out of the waist, and you're going to begin to hinge forward. You're hinging at your hip and femur joint. Stretching forward. If you would like to release your head down, I'll just demo that. You can come further down, let your legs support your torso, and then we'll come back up again. Great, and bring the leg back under. All right, everybody okay with that? Mm-hmm. Okay, I do wish I was had a little more space so you guys could see what I'm doing a little bit. Okay, the seated piriformis stretch. The piriformis is one of a group of muscles in our outer hip. You're going to feel this in the back of the leg and the hip. So you're going to take your right leg, you're going to cross your ankle over your knee, making sure that your ankle bone clears your thigh bone or your femur bone. And your hands, right hand is going to be on the knee, the other hand is going to be on the ankle. If this is a difficult position, you can slide the leg forward a little bit for less of an angle. Everyone seems to have it. Again, stretch up out of the waist. You're going to hinge forward at the hip crease. Keep that leg to the spine. Everybody see me, eyes on me. Keep your chest lifted for as long as you can, and then when you hit the end of your range, you may lower your head and hang out there. So you should feel this in the back of the right thigh and in the hip. All right, so we'll just come up, rolling up the spine. Other side, lower your right leg. Legs are hip width apart. This time, you're going to take your left ankle and you're going to cross it over your right knee. Your ankle bone, this bone right here, clears your thigh bone. And you're going to let the left knee just relax down. Hands on knee and ankle. Stretch up out of the waist. And again, it's like your heart is reaching towards me and I am reaching towards you. You're opening that chest and heart. You're going to come forward. When you reach your limit, you can relax your head down and enjoy the stretch. So again, you should be feeling the stretch in the back of the left leg and hip. And this stretch can also be done lying down and seated on the floor as well, many places. And coming up. Don't hurt yourself, just only be very gentle. A lot of people push. A lot of people mistakenly believe that stretching should be painful. Stretching should not be painful. You should feel a lengthening sensation in the muscles, but we don't want to go overboard. Because if you do these on a regular basis, the muscles will open on their own and you'll be able to go further and further in the positions. Okay, the seated quad stretch or the runner's lunge, seated on the chair. Very nice. We're going to turn to, we'll turn to the right. I'm going to turn to the left so you guys can still keep seeing me. You want to have your left buttock and hip on the chair. So everybody's going to face the blackboard. We'll hold on to the back of the chair and here. Again, if you have a chair with arms, you can hold the arms. You're going to extend your right leg, for you guys, your left leg back. Now, if you're a woman wearing high heels, you're probably going to need to take your high heels off in the office. If you can take your shoes off, if you're wearing like a loafer, you can do that. You can put your foot flat on the floor if you'd like as well. So we're extending the back leg back. You're really turning your body to face the blackboard or this wall. And you should feel a stretch in the front of your left hip and thigh. Does everybody feel that?
Yes.
A nice opening there. It's a nice, gentle, really supported stretch. You're lifting up out of the waist, stretching up. Good. All right, and then we'll gently come back to center. Okay. All right, so other side. Now we're all going to turn and face the windows. You're sitting with your right hip, your buttock. You should feel your sitting bone on the chair. This time your right leg extends back. So you can keep the toes tucked under, especially if you're wearing shoes. And you're going to stretch up out of the waist. Good, everybody. And you are looking to feel a stretch in the front of your right hip this time and down the front of the right thigh. So you're extending that leg back. It's nice with the support of the chair under the front leg. Good. And then we're going to gently slide that leg back in and just turn back to face the front. Good. Everybody felt that? Great. Okay. All right, so now we're going to do some upper body stretches. Then the first one is a forward bend. It's like a seated roll down. So again, the legs are hip width apart. Your arms can either rest on your thighs. I would suggest you move back away from your desk a little bit more or push that table more forward. Or you know what, the other thing is we can also face sideways if we need to. Okay. Hands can either stay here or you can just let your arms hang. It's up to you. We're going to slowly lower the head down until your chin is hanging towards your chest. Then you're going to begin to let your chest roll forward, rolling through your upper back, your middle back, your lower back, coming as far forward as you can. If you can lie with your chest on your thighs, that's fine. You can let your arms hang down and touch the floor if they can. And you're looking to feel a gentle stretch in your back. And good. Your hands can support you on your legs if you wish. And then we'll gently roll back up. Let your head hang. You're lifting from your pubic bone to your navel up to the rib line or your bra line if you're a woman, then bottom of the sternum to the top. After the collarbones lift, the head finally comes up. So you're articulating the spine one vertebra at a time as you come up. So that's a nice one, and that's nice to hold for a while too. Although the boss is going to say, what, did you drop something on the floor? What you looking for down there? Okay. So, yeah. So next we're going to do a side bend or a lateral bend. So I'm going to ask everybody, we're going to put your left hand on the seat of your chair and clasp it. Again, this is one where if you have an arm, you can rest your arm here very comfortably. All right, so you're holding the edge of the chair. The right arm is going to stretch up. You're going to lift your abdominals, stretch up out of the waist, put some weight on that supporting hand, and you're going to side bend. Now keep looking straight ahead. Good. We don't want to look down. We don't want to look up. So everything, the entire spine is in a completely lateral bend. Good. So we'll hold this. You're reaching for the windows over there, over your head. Good. Everybody feel the stretch in their side? And then come back up and lower the arm down. Great. Other side. Now, your right hand is going to be firmly on that chair. That's your support. The left arm is going to circle up. You're going to lift your abdominals, lengthen your spine, stretching up. Good. You're going to lean on that supporting hand, and you're going to begin to side bend this way. Good. Doesn't matter how far you go as long as you feel a nice stretch. Good. You're reaching towards the blackboard. Good, everybody. Does everybody feel a stretch in this side of their body? Good. And then you're coming back. Good. You're going to lower your arm down. Great. All right. So now we are going to do a back bend on the edge of the chair. Okay. So here you're going to really scooch forward to the very front edge of your chair. Just your sitting bones are on the chair. Place your hands on the back of the chair. Probably in those white chairs, you're going to have to put them around the sides. I'm sorry about that. If you have a black chair, you can put them around the back corners. Yeah, you did not get a classroom with good chairs for this. Okay, so you're just going to simply look down at your chest. Lift your chest up as though it's going to meet your chin. So you're staring down at it. You are looking down because you want to see that chest bone lift, your sternum. When you've lifted it as much as you can while looking at it, you're going to look up to the ceiling. And keep looking up if you can, and if you wish, you can allow your head to relax back if that feels good to you. If not, just keep it lifted up. And you really keep extending and lifting that chest to the ceiling. Does everybody feel a stretch in their chest and through their back? Good. Good. And then to come out of it, think of reaching your head up out of your shoulder. You're lengthening your neck and rotating your head back to center. Good. Everybody just watch me do that for a minute. Also, when you're doing this, I forgot to mention, don't lock your elbows. Everybody see my arms really straight. Keep them a little bent and soft. So I'm going to show you how to come up. I'm all the way back. I'm lifting up. I'm imagining there's a string running through my body and it's pulling up. So I'm not crunching my neck. Okay, back bends are extremely important to do, to learn how to do without hurting yourself, because we're always forward bending at the desk. We don't want to go backward and open the chest. Okay, I don't even know where I am time-wise, so someone's going to have to remind me. Okay, seated, okay, now we're going to move into some standing stretches. So hopefully, again, everybody has at least a cubicle and some area around their desk. So I'm going to ask you all to stand. And we may want to turn the chair sideways so you can have some support here. Turn the chairs to face the window. I apologize, folks. Yes, pant leg is fine. Okay, now, if you can see me, we want to keep the knees together. You also don't want to let the knee come in front of the other leg. You want to have them both in the same plane, so to speak. Then the other thing is, you don't want to hinge at the hip and let your butt stick out. So you want to tuck that butt under, stretch up out of the waist, and keep the legs together as you bring the heel up towards your buttock. Does everybody feel a stretch in the front of the thigh there? Can you get your pant leg? No? All right, different subjects. The other thing is, if you have a strap or a belt, you can also use that. Okay, everybody's going to lower the leg. Was that okay for everybody? And just quickly, we'll just turn our chairs to face the other way. Just pivot them around, and we'll do the other side. So this time, you're going to bend your left leg, grabbing either your foot or your ankle or your pant leg, and you're going to allow that left leg to drop down, left knee drops down. Try to have, as you look down the front of your body, both thighs are together and in alignment. Your gaze then comes up towards the blackboard. You're going to tuck those hips under, stretch out of the waist, and gently bring your heel towards your hip. And do you feel a stretch in the front of your left leg? Good. Very good. Okay. And we're going to lower again. All right. Moving right along. All right, we're going to do, so that was a leg stretch. We're going to do some rotation now. And this one's a little bit easier. Just going to everybody stand and face the front. This can be done with the arms out to the sides, but this is a little bit gentler with the hands on the shoulders. I think because of our lack of space, we'll do it with hands up here today. So you're just resting your fingertips on your shoulders. You're standing again with the feet hip width apart, outer edges of the feet parallel. So we're going to stretch up out of the waist. We're going to lead with our eyeballs. You're going to start to look to your right. There's something to the right you want to see. You're taking your eyes as far as they'll go. Then you're going to allow your head to follow the movement. Then your chest. Then your waist. And you're gently twisting to the right. So you should feel that stretch through your entire spine and neck. And then we're going to gently allow the eyes to come back to center. And come back. Good. Going the opposite direction. So you're going to begin to let your eyes look to the left. Then you're going to allow your head to follow the movement. Then the chest. Then the waist. Your feet are facing forward. You're standing down into your legs. Stretching up out of the waist, you should feel a stretch in your entire spine and neck. And then we're gently going to come back to center. Did everybody feel that? Okay. All right. Next up, we're going to do a standing side bend, similar to the one we did seated. So what you're going to do is you're going to place your left hand on your left hip. We're going to stretch the right arm up and over. You're lifting your abdominals, stretching out. Always make sure your shoulders aren't lifting. And we're going to bend towards the windows. And imagine your fingertips are pressing into the shades of the window. Your palm is facing the floor. Yeah, not the ceiling. Good. Very good. Good. Make sure you don't collapse the inside. Okay. And we're going to come back up, lower the arm. Everybody okay with that? Okay, other side. Right hand on right hip. The left arm reaches up. You're stretching up. You want to think of getting taller, 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 till your hand hits the midline that would run straight through your body. And then, bracing against your hip, you're going to begin to side bend. Good. Try to keep the shoulders relaxed. Whenever stretching, try to keep the shoulders out of it. They love to get involved where they're not called for. Yes. And come up, lower the arm. Very good. All right, now, stand quad stretch rotation. back bend. Okay, so now we're going to do a standing back bend. Safest way to do this is to interlace your fingers and place your hands behind your head. If you don't have any neck or back issues, you can do it with the arms out to the side, palms face forward, and moving back. All right, so we're going to stretch up out of the waist. Again, if you like, you can look towards your chest, lift your chest up to meet your chin. That way you know it's going up, you can be sure. You're gonna look up at the ceiling and just come into a gentle back bend. Keep thinking, lift the chest. If you're a woman, this might be a little raunchy, you can think boobs up. I often say boobs to the wind. Uh-oh, a little politically incorrect there, but okay. And then really think of lifting up. You can even pull your neck a little bit with your hands, your head up a little bit to come back to center. Again, make sure your shoulders are hanging down, not hunching up, and rest. Okay, so did everybody feel again that opening in that back bend? Wonderful. Okay, so now we're going to stretch our arms a little bit with a twist with the arms over the head. So everybody, you're going to interlace your fingers and press your palms away from you. Bring your arms up over your head as much as you comfortably can. Some people will be more forward, others will be more back. That's fine. Press the palms up to the ceiling. Inhale. Lift your abdominals, stretch up out of the waist, and again, leading with your eyes, you're going to begin to twist to the right. Good. Your eyes are looking, your head is turning, your arms are moving with your torso, whole torso is turning. And then slowly come back to the center. We'll go right into the other side. Press up to the ceiling. Try and get your arms as straight as you can. Good, good. All right, eyes begin to look. And you're turning. Your head follows your eyes. Shoulders and arms are moving with your torso. Everything is turning. Keep pressing and reaching up. And then gently come back to the center. Lower the arms, release the hands, and come down. Good. Everybody okay? You can feel a little bit of a stretch in the armpits with that one as well. Okay. All right, now, okay, we're going to do the roll down that we did sitting in the chair, standing. Now, before we do this, there are several things that you can do. I'm going to first demonstrate the full version, but I will show you modifications if you can't do this. You'll be standing again with the feet hip width, the arms are hanging down. We're going to start by lowering the head, and so don't do this yet, just watch. Your knees are a little soft, lowering the chest, and you're going to imagine all these vertebrae in your spine as you're rolling down, very, very slowly to hang. If your hands can touch the floor, that's fine. Feel free to let them rest. If you can even rest your chest on your thighs, you can do that too. Bend into the knees gently, press your feet into the floor, your legs into the floor, and we'll gently come up. This is the portion that can be dangerous to people if you will be back. So, several things we can do. You can have something in front of you, such as your chair, and rolling down. When you get to the chair, you can put your hands on the chair. You can hold on to that as you go down and come back up. If you can do even less range, you can use the back of the chair. Stand, so just your fingers, well, you're going to need to stand a little away from it. You'll start to roll down, then hands will come in the chair. And even if this is all you can do, that's fine. You're not out to do these pictures, not today. That's for when you come to the studio. Okay, so, all right, so we'll all, I think we'll face the blackboard. I'll take my chair over here too. Okay, so whichever version you have chosen, you're going to slowly begin to lower your chin to your chest until your head is hanging. Good. You're going to also soften your knees. You're going to begin to roll down your spine, allowing your head to come forward, knees bending as much as they need to. Good. Your upper back comes down, your lower back, if you need support, hold on to your chair. Good. Coming down very slowly, that's good everybody, until you're hanging as best you can. You can also hold on to the table beside you if you need to as well. Use your desk. So now, to come up, you're going to press your feet into the floor. Keep those knees a little bit bent, or as bent as you need to. And slowly roll up. Keep the head hanging. Good. One vertebra at a time. Let your arms relax if you're not holding on to anything. Good. Your chest will come up, and your head will come up last. You okay there?
That felt good, yeah.
Yeah. So Yeah, great. Whew. I told you we were going to heat up. I'm telling you, we are the hottest session in the building. Okay, so everybody can turn and face the front. So the idea is you're articulating your spine, rolling down one vertebra at a time until you're hanging, and then taking your time to come up. So, okay. Now we're just going to do a few arm stretches quickly. Where's my moderator? How am I for time?
You're fine.
How much time
It
do I have?
yes, it said 12:27.
12:27. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I think I should be able to get through all this. Okay. So a few arm stretches now. You're going to take your right arm and reach it straight out. The hand is in line with your shoulder. Your palm is going to face in. We're going to take the right arm across the body. Take your left arm up. Your palm faces your face. You're going to hook that arm and gently pull it more across your body. Try to keep your elbows straight. Yes. Yes. I know. When you keep it straight, you really feel it. Yes. Does everybody feel that in the outer arm and shoulder? Good. Great. Okay. We'll come down. Shake out the arm. The other side. Left arm comes up. You're going to take your, my badge is away. Take your right arm. The crook of your elbow is going to hook that. We'll offer here with this tag. And pull the arm. Keep facing the front. Don't turn towards your arm, but keep front and pull that across. And everybody feels it in this shoulder. Good. Okay, and then come down and gently shake out. All right, now, next one's a little bit harder. You take the right arm. Your palm is going to face behind you. Let the elbow bend and let your hand drop down. Take the other hand in front of your face, reach for that elbow, and gently push that elbow back. If you have a shoulder injury, that might, so put your hand in front of your elbow and just push it back as much as you can. Do you feel a stretch through here, the armpit? Good. Good. Very good. If you can, bring your head level so you're not straining your neck. Good. And does everybody feel stretched through the armpit here? Very nice. Okay, we'll lower down, shake it out. Other side. The left arm comes up, your palm faces behind you. Let the elbow bend, let the hand hang down, fingers touch your back. Opposite hand comes up, reach for the front of the elbow. Try not to let your neck get involved. And bring it back for a stretch. You're pulling it back. Good, and you should feel it through the back of the arm and armpit. Good, and we'll come down and we'll rest. Okay. Now, we're going to do a couple of easier ones now, which are fun, which are pretty easy. We're just going to simply, you can stay where you are. I'll face this way. Interlace your fingers behind you and just stretch your arms down. You should feel opening your chest and in the front of your shoulders. Now, you're not intentionally trying to squeeze your shoulders together. That will happen naturally as you stretch the arms down. So just allow it to happen. Extending down. And the more you practice, the more your chest will open. Again, if you're a woman, it feels very exposed in the front, but that's okay. All right, now just relax, shake them out for a moment. There's a second variation with the palms down. So you'll interlace your fingers, turn your palms down towards the floor, and stretch. This is less of a chest stretch, but you feel it in the front of the arms more. And it's very important range for our arms because we rarely put our arms behind our backs. I do have other ones like this I could teach, but they're a little bit difficult for today. And you can relax your arms and come out. Okay, last one, and this seated goalpost arms, but it could be, this can be done sitting or standing. You're standing again, hip width. Bring your arms up. Your elbows are in line with your shoulders. Your palms are facing forward, like a goalpost in football. You're going to bring your forearms back to get a chest stretch. This also is a great one to do standing in a doorway, bracing your arms against the doorway. And for even a little more, if you go to like a wall where there's a corner, and you face the corner with your arms on each corner and you lean forward into the corner, this is a great one. And come down and rest. And you can do this sitting in your chair as well. Okay, so now I'm going to move into some neck stretches. A lot of us have neck issues, and again, that craning forward to look at the computer screen causes that. So everybody, you get to sit down finally. Okay. And actually, all right, can everybody see me? If you can, I'll stand up because I can do standing as well. All right, you're sitting on the front of your chair. The first one is a forward bend, rolling down, except instead of the whole body, it's just the neck. There are 7 vertebrae in our neck, which is known as our cervical spine. So I'm going to count the vertebrae as we go down. So my suggestion to my students is always count as you do this, because you're going to start on 1 and end on 7, and the more you do this, I actually developed the awareness to be able to feel those individual vertebrae as they came up and down. You can feel them. Yes, you make your movement exactly match the count, and eventually you'll get that awareness. So we're going to start, we're going to begin to lower the head, C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6, C7, and by the time you hit number 7, your head is completely hanging. So we're hanging, and we're going to slowly roll back up. Now, you're going to think base of the neck. You can even touch that vertebra there with your hand if you wish to feel it. C7, C6, C5, C4, C3, C2, C1, and by the time you hit 1, your head is vertical. And I love that exercise because in Pilates, in a lot of these exercises, we're doing wave-like motions where we're articulating the spine. And what I see a lot is people just walk their heads up.
Right.
Well, there was no articulation in that movement, right? So it really gives people awareness of that neck, which is very much needed. Okay, so now we're going to do rotation again. So we're going to look to the right, again, leading with the eyes. Now, seated, you have an advantage, other things you can work on than when you're standing. Here, you can really focus on keeping your shoulders square and isolating the neck. So we're going to start to look louder, and this is great workout for your eyes as well. Eyes have muscles in them too. You're going to turn, leading with the eyes, and you're just turning that head. Try and keep your shoulders facing front this time. Don't let the body turn. And you're looking, and then slowly allow your eyes to move first as they come back to center, and then let your chin follow the movement. So in some respects, maybe I should have taught these first. We get the neck going, and then we take it into the bigger stretches. All right, looking to the left. You're going to lead with your eyes. Again, if you want to place your fingertips on your shoulders to make sure they don't move to bother to them, you can do that. And you're turning just the head, looking as far as your eyes can see. Then begin looking back to center. Your eyes move before your chin. And you're slowly bringing the head back. Good. And one tip that I'm seeing a little bit, try not to jump the chin out. You want to think that there is a plumb line, or like a bungee cord, running straight through the center of your torso, and it's lifting you up, and you're keeping your head on that vertical axis. Okay, now we're going to side bend with the head and neck. So we're going to begin going to the right. I'm going to the left, you're going to the right. All right, so keeping your head, keep your eyes on me. You're going to gently let your right ear fall towards your right shoulder. Now, here's where everybody's going to want to lean and collapse the body. Try to keep your body upright. When at the studio, I tell my students to practice these in front of a mirror, if they can, with their eyes open at first. Eventually, the eyes can close, but you want to make sure you really have the positions. And unfortunately, at work, you don't have a mirror. So you're trying to let the weight of your head release towards your shoulder. And you should feel a stretch in this side of the neck. Again, think of lengthening the neck to come back up. Other side, we're going to begin tilting the left ear towards the left shoulder. Don't lift that shoulder. Good. Don't let your body lean. You can also hold on to your desk or your chair to make sure that you're not collapsing over. Because on a sleepy day, you might actually go all the way down. If you're really bored at work. Okay. And then think of lifting up out of the neck and gently coming back to center. So it's a completely lateral or side bend. And then the last one is going to be extension again. So we're going to just begin, you're going to lift the chest up. You're going to begin to look up towards the ceiling, keep lifting the chest, and allow our hip to go back as far as it comfortably can. For a couple of years when I first started doing all these, I couldn't totally release my head back, and that's okay. Now I can sort of let it hang all the way back, but not a lot of people do that. You also want to make sure you're not hunching your shoulders here. That can cause pinching in the back of the neck. So you want to keep that chest up, your chest open, and your shoulder blades dropping down your neck. Then think of lifting, stretching the head up out of the shoulders, and then rotating the head forward as you come back. And the head is coming forward, rotating on that axis. Now, the last stretch. Yay, I still have plenty of time, and we'll have time for questions. Love finishing early. We're going to put all these movements together in head rolls. Now, don't panic. This is not going to be like flash dance or Dancing with the Stars where you're whipping your head around and dancing. So, yeah. Well, that's for the ballroom class. Okay, these are going to be very slow. We're putting these together, circling in a chain of movement. Again, micro movements, trying to stay in each position as long as you can. And I also recommend that if you feel a particular, the slower you move, the more you're going to feel. And if you feel a particular tight spot, let yourself hang out there, because that's where your body needs to be. So we're going to start again going forward. We're going to lower the chin, starting with C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6, C7. Last night Jill was laughing at me because as I was doing this I was missing counts. I couldn't even count. Okay, so by count 7, your chin is hanging towards your chest. Now you're going to imagine that you are wearing a shirt with a crew neck top. You may not be, but just you're going to pretend. Okay, so your head is hanging, keep that chest lifted. You're going to begin to gently turn to the right, allowing your chin hanging down to trace the neckline of your crew neck top. And you're hanging and turning, and hanging and turning. And you keep turning the head all the way until you're looking for something on the floor behind your right shoulder. So it's almost as if your chin is hanging over your shoulder. If you can't get that far, just go to where you can. It might be to the side of the shoulder or in front of the shoulder, but your eyes are looking back. Now, and if you need to look at me at any point, please refer to me. You're going to let your right ear fall towards your right shoulder. You're tipping your chin forward, and we're coming into that side bend, that lateral bend. So as your head comes up, you should be facing me with the ear to the shoulder. Yup, so you keep tipping that chin up. Good. So everybody just stay right where you are and look at me. So you were here, all you're doing is this, and now you're facing completely forward. If you were looking at yourself in the mirror, I tell people you should see your whole face sideways in the mirror, as if you went like that, but you didn't come from there. Now, we're going to go back. You're going to begin to look up to the ceiling with your eyes, tip your chin forward. And I always imagine that there's like an upside down horseshoe stuck on my back. It's like my head is rolling down the hill, until I get to the middle, and it's all the way back to the extent of your comfortable range. You'll stay there for a moment or two, feeling this stretch, feeling through the front of the neck, and then you're going to begin to tip your left ear towards your left shoulder, and your chin is coming forward, again, until your left ear is hanging towards your left shoulder, and your whole face is sideways. So, yes. So a lot of people are still looking down a little bit. Look straight ahead, just letting your head hang to the side. Okay, and your eyes are forward. You should be able to see me. Okay. Now, we're going to tip our chin down towards our shoulder so that you're letting that chin come down, and you're hanging and turning. Hanging and turning. And again, you're looking for something on the floor behind your left shoulder or to the side of your shoulder. Then, allowing that chin to continue hanging, you're going to begin to trace the neckline of your crew neck top very slowly, allowing the head to hang and the neck to relax until it makes its way back to center, and you're hanging in the center, we'll come up. C7 lifts, C6, C5, C4, C3, C2, C1, and you're facing the center. We're just going to do one more. I think we have the time to the opposite direction. Everybody okay? Everybody still with me? Nobody's head is ready to fall off? Okay. All right. So going down again, one more time. Lowering the head, C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6, C7, and by the time you hit number 7, your head is completely hanging relaxed. All right, moving to the left this time. Your chin is going to slowly hang and turn. So you're hanging and turning, gently tracing the neckline of your crew neck top. And you're turning the head, turning to the left, letting it hang, and imagining that you're just going to drape it over your left shoulder. And your eyes are looking for something on the floor behind that shoulder or off to the side. Then moving into the lateral bend. You're slowly going to allow your left ear to fall towards your left shoulder. Allow the chin to tip forward, not up. And you're turning the head. And you should be able, when you get there, you should be able to see me. So your whole face is sideways. So start lifting that chin. Chin comes up. Okay, so you let your ear fall to your shoulder. Just take a peek at me. Watch Gemma. See me. I always tell my students. So you're here, you're just going to come to here. So it's like a sideways lift of your chin. Okay. From here, we're going to go back. So you're going to begin to let your eyes look up towards the ceiling. You're going to let your chin tip up. And you're going to allow your head to gently roll down the hill on the left side. It rolls down, and then it rolls, and it comes to center. Keep lifting your chest up. You can hold your desk, you can hold your chair, or press your hands on your thighs for support if needed. Then we're going to begin to go up the hill on the right side. So your right ear is coming towards your right shoulder. Your chin is now lowering in this forward plane. I probably have to come up with a better way to word that so everybody understands. Until you can see me with your face sideways. You're still sitting upright. Good. You don't want to be leaning back in your chair. And we also will probably leaning this way. So actually, we're not really. Okay. From here, now let your chin turn down towards your right shoulder. Good. Make sure that shoulder is relaxed. Don't let the shoulder become a part of this. It's not allowed. And you're hanging and turning. And again, you're going to imagine that you could just drape your chin over your right shoulder. I don't know of anyone who could do that, but maybe a Cirque du Soleil person could. And your eyes are looking for something behind you on the floor or out to the side. So this is a more of a twist, a rotational swing. Then you're going to slowly let the chin come towards the front of the shoulder, let the head hang down, and very slowly, the chin is going to trace the neckline of your crew neck top all the way back until it makes its way back to the center and the head is hanging towards the center. So articulating those vertebrae, we're going to come up. We're going to lift through C7, C6, C5, C4, C3, C2, C1, eyes are up, and you're all the way up. Okay, how do your necks feel? They feel a little more open and stretched out, and they didn't feel like you ripped your head off too, right? Okay. All right. Well, that is the end of the series. Is there anyone who has any questions? Yes.
Nobody when they do exercises and neck exercises, and I used to do neck. I made up my own exercises because I had seen a lot of older women like me and myself who the body looked great, but the neck was all breaking. And people got to learn they had to exercise the neck with their body.
They do.
So I love it.
It's a very
important, like this.
Right.
I go like this.
Your neck is a very important part of your spine.
Yes.
Anyone else have any questions, comments? Okay. All right. Thank you